So this is basically, you can use this to understand how complex work is. It's kind of an indicator. It gives you a hint. That's basically the idea. So use it if it works. So that's basically what I would recommend. It depends. If that is the only thing you want, you are using that number, then I understand this. Use it if it works. But it's just guessing, right? It's an indication. It's we think it's big, and this is why we're giving it a high number. That's all. The thing is, people often use it to plan. And this is when it gets complicated. So you can use it to make some kind of projections. Like if you want to answer, when will it be done? The thing is, so you can use it like a planning tool, but it's dangerous because people can abuse it to try to control or try to exert pressure on the team, right? It's just, yeah, it's too imprecise. It's too complex really to make this actually really happen. So, so that's it, right? I would try to, I mean, Scrum is really basically empirical, right? Mm-hmm. So that means if you think that story points make sense, try it and validate it. So you can just check it. I mean, each sprint planning, you have a projection. You say, so many story points. And then when you actually deliver the stuff, then you see how much it makes really sense. So you have your historical data. And this will give you a clue about how accurate the whole thing is. Are you actually delivering on your estimations? That's one thing, right? And if you see it's not working, then you can just conclude it's just not working. It's very much challenged, these story points. So if you use them as Soima was using it, just as a tool to have a good discussion, that's one thing. But using it as a projection is not really fair, because you cannot estimate things that you don't know. It's complexity. Complexity means that you don't know what's going to happen. You have things that are just not plannable. You don't know always what questions to ask. So when they think it's an 8, and then they discover it's much more complex, are you going to blame them? And that makes it really questionable, but because basically means that you are kind of blaming the developers for not delivering on what they kind of promised. And that's kind of the bad part of this. So, and then when you get management involved, they want to know when it's going to deliver. And planning in agile environments doesn't work like that, right? Because you don't know the scope, you don't know all the details. That's what makes complexity complex. So you need to learn to make the dance within complexity. And this is when you need, it's more about shifting a little bit the perspective. When you say, when you ask basically, when do you need it done? That's the question you have to ask. When? Okay. Or you have the other question. You can ask, what will I get done by that date? That's a reasonable question. But you cannot make the question, when will I get all by that time? Because complexity means you cannot talk about fixing scope, time, and budget. And that's not something that Agile invented. This is project management. This is traditional PMI. They say you cannot fix all three. One of them have to be open. So if you have a deadline, the question is, what will I probably get? Okay, so it's unfortunate, but story points will not solve your problem. Yeah, so what you can do, I mean, your Scrum Master, so basically you have to work with management, you have to work with leadership, you have to coach them on agile product management, understanding what that means. So so working with a backlog. A backlog is not a plan. It's a list, it's a wish list. It's not a plan. People often think of Scrum as if it was a project management tool, and it is not. We're talking product development. It's like if you when you compare these two, you know, when my wife got married with me, she wanted to have a bespoke wedding dress. So that's a unique wedding dress, never been done before. She went to the tailor and she explained what she was dreaming of. I want this like that, and I want this and whatever stuff. This is what you do, right? You create something new and you cannot perfectly predict this when it will be done. Why? Because she changed her mind all the time. The other way, this is product development. You have to intend, you have to collaborate with the client. Project management is something different. Project management is taking a catalog and selecting the wedding dress that you want. You say, I want this one in green and this and that, and then it will be delivered. Because then it will be delivered against a plan. Because that dress has been done 1,000 times. It's always the same dress. A bespoke dress is a unique dress. And that's the difference between traditional project management and product development. And so you as a Scrum Master, try to support the organization in that way. I mean, it might be difficult, you don't know your context. So this is how as Scrum Master, as a change agent, you can support them, right? Okay, guys. Let's wrap it up. What do you think? I hope we see each other in one of my trainings. That would be nice. And yeah, guys.